Good evening. It's Peter Reznicek from ShadowTrader and Weekly Options Advisory. And when I was thinking about what to do for this particular video, I wanted to sort of avoid the obvious. And to me, the obvious is that the S&P here is probably poised for higher. It's very, very close to the 5,000 level. And I believe that's where we're going this week. And the NDX looks even better because there's a breakout that's about to occur here. It's just a couple points away and it hasn't happened yet, which I think is going to push us probably to at least 17.8 or maybe even 18,000. And a lot of this is happening on the heels of stocks such as NVIDIA and also Meta. These are the ones that everybody is kind of, was very, very much in focus, I should say, on Friday, and they're getting a lot of the attention. But I wanted to make this video more about some stocks that are currently unloved as opposed to loved, so that I can give you some ideas that might actually be in play. Because if I show you something like the Meta chart, there's really nothing you can do with this. It makes absolutely no sense to buy this now, right? It makes really no sense to buy NVIDIA now, for instance, after it's already had like day one of its breakout, right? The train has left the station. So I thought maybe I'd give you a short video on just a small handful of stocks that are not as popular right now, but at the same time, I think will be setting up for good long plays as long as the market continues on its trajectory, which I believe it will for a little while. So let's start with Boeing, first of all. Boeing obviously has had a lot of bad news recently, but notice that the bad news has not taken the stock anywhere near the prior swing lows. Instead, what's happened is it's just created this very boxy, tight consolidation range. And what that does is it potentially sets up a play to retest this area, and then also you've got a gap to fill here in between. So keep that in mind, right? You've got a declining 8 EMA, you've got a declining 21. So you're gonna be watching for a breakout out of this box. Remember, bad news, or even like a torrent of bad news with price not really going lower, is a good thing. You wanna remember that, right? Next one is Tesla, also falling out of favor right now and also falling in price, but at the same time doing a very similar pattern where it's really just consolidating in a range after the down move. And you've got a very specific area to enter, as opposed to, say, a Meta or NVIDIA, where it will be hard to pick an entry at this point, where you've got a specific area to enter just over the top of it, and you know where your target would be. It's going to be the gap fill up to 207. So there's lots of different plays you could set up in that sense. Next one is Google, which, again, same thing, very, very similar setup, where all you have to do is get to the top here, and voila, your target is up there to 152. So you're going to set up something, maybe a butterfly with mid-strike in here. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. But again, this is all about having a very, very specific setup where you know where your entry is, to start the move. And last but not least, let's talk about UPS also, which has been pretty ugly lately and also has an unfilled gap above us right in here. So again, you're going to be waiting for a break above this roughly 150 area, and it would be better if that happened if this area was never tested. If the stock continues lower, okay, then you know you've got a support point here where to buy. But if it starts to trend higher, comes to this area, then it's a buy up to here. All right, so look at some stocks, if you can, that are not as loved and not so much in the headlines, or maybe getting negative headlines currently, and they might be setting up for some easier plays for you to the long side very soon. Hey, this is Peter from ShadowTrader and I just wanted to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you'd like to trade live with me every day in my weekly options advisory, then check out the link in the description below. I wish you good trading, and I'll see you in the room.